All right, welcome everyone. Welcome. It's Monday. It's time for the 5ers Live Trading Room, and as always, we got Victor with us here. How's it going, Victor?
I'm doing fine. How about everyone else? How are you doing, Jonathan, today?
I'm good. I'm good. Feeling a lot of positive energy here. A lot of positive energy. I've haven't taken a trade yet. I've went through the market this morning. Had a live stream on my YouTube channel as well, and went through the market and didn't really have any good. Didn't really feel like I have a good read on the market, and we have a lot of news coming up this week as well. So I feel like it feels like the market is waiting for something, and we do have the manufacturing PMI, the flash manufacturing PMI, which is not the manufacturing PMI. It's an estimate of the manufacturing PMI, but that's going to be important because we saw this morning a lot of movement in EU,
We have.
which came after the French, the German, and the British flash manufacturing PMI. So next up is the USD manufacturing PMI. So let's see if that can change things around, or what's going to happen here during the live stream today. So the plan for today is to take a look at the market, see if we have any plans. What are our plans for the coming week? Because you guys know that I go through the markets every weekend. I have very select few setups that I'm going to be watching throughout the week. So I'm going to show you what those are, and then maybe Victor, you have something maybe you got some plans or some setups that you might want to show as well this
For sure.
fine
Yeah, yeah.
Monday.
Yeah, I have a setup on both sides for GU. I can identify, and that I will be showing the area from which it would be interesting to go short, and the areas that I would be interested. That's a little bit more vague, but there isn't a certain area where I want to go long. So yes, gladly I'll be showing those during our this live stream. So keep tuned.
Yeah. So after that first initial look at our plans, we're gonna go straight into the questions. So, guys, if you have any questions, let us know right now in the comments so we can make sure to put them in a little. So what we do is that we press a little star on the comments. We save them for later. So every comment we save them. We got one comment on Goat Sniper. So you're spamming the chat right now, and if you continue to spam the chat, I will have to unfortunately remove you from the channel. And if you continue, I'll have to ban you. And it's nothing personal. It's just that we want to make sure that the comment section is clean. But because of the fact that you obviously want attention here, I'm going to give it to you, and we're going to go through this question. Hi, Victor. We didn't receive the Wednesday's giveaway still. Why is that? You're going to get the credits that you won in your Hub account today or tomorrow. So make sure you check the Hub account. And like I said in the last week, it can take up to a week before you. Usually much quicker, but you have to allow for up to a week for your account to get credited with because of the giveaway. Okay. Andre, I've already been in contact with you, so we're checking that out as well. It got a bit messy last Wednesday with the giveaways and everything, so there might be some people who's not getting the Hub credits, and some people thought they won and they didn't win. So very, very messy there. But again, Go Sniper, you're lucky that I did just not remove from channel right away. So we want to make sure, guys, that we do not spam the comments. It's very important. We want to make sure that we have a good good flow in the comment section. Make sure that everyone has the opportunity to ask questions and have their comments answered here in the comment section. Yes, like M76BB said, yeah, I got mine from a Discord competition. We do the competitions, a giveaway in the Discord as well, and he got it a week later. Your entries was not lost. It did not get a retest. I was playing around with the back end. It might look like you lost your entries, but you didn't. So that was just a bug, basically. Okay, now that we got that covered, we will be doing one giveaway today as well. That will be based on the number of likes, I believe. So I believe you have a link in the description of this video. Let's take a closer look at that to make sure that I'm not, make sure that I'm not lying to you guys. So we're going to be looking at the, do I have a link? Yes, there's a link in the description. You want to go in, you want to use that link, and later I will give you guys a. Okay, so yeah, I will give you the code, and this way we're doing it like the old way we did a couple of weeks ago, where I'm going to tell you the code, and you have to pay attention. So what we're doing this week, we're doing different types of giveaways every day of the week. So on Wednesday, for example, when Anastasia comes on, that giveaway is going to be based on number of likes, and today it's going to be based on just a secret word that I'm going to say once. I'm not. I'm going to not even going to type it. I'm just going to say it to here live. So you have to pay attention, and we're playing around with the best way to do this to make sure that it's transparent and fair and fun. Most of all, we want to have fun, because trading is boring and it's supposed to be boring. So, we want to make sure we have some fun as well. Okay.
Yeah, for sure.
With that said, yeah, Victor, I've been talking for way too long now. Maybe you want to say something.
No,
I'm
not
just gonna grab
necessarily.
some
I
coffee
just
and listen to you
yeah,
instead.
take your you feel fresh. I'm sure you feel fresh and energized, and that's why the words come like a cascade, like a waterfall. And that is great, because that's what we want. We want that great energy of yours to pep us, to energize us. And I think it's a great thing, great way to start your day, right? It's a as we always say, it's a great thing to be a trader, and it's a great thing when you start your day and you have all those opportunities lying in front of you, and you're ready. You should be, right? Because that's, I mean, if you don't enjoy trading, you shouldn't be trading. It should be something you enjoy. So I will be showing, not now, but I will be showing the setup that I'm looking at on GU. It's currently right there at the area. So I'll be showing it. Perhaps it might have already signaled, but that's okay. And what I wanted to say was, I think the changing the ways, and fluctuate with the methods we do the giveaways, will have everyone alert, right? They need to be on focus and listening carefully, because the way we structure the giveaways may change tomorrow, or maybe today is going to be different than what you're accustomed to. And that means that you need to be paying attention, actually paying attention to everything we say, because if you want to be participating in the giveaways, you need to know the rules, and they may change. They may be switched from day to day. So I think that's a great idea, a great challenge for everyone to keep their attention sharp and focused on the live stream.
So let's take a look at some of the trade setups that I'm watching for this week. So again, I did my scan. You can see here, these are all the pairs that I'm going through, and I have a list here called priority. And the list called priority, this is where I have all the Forex pairs that I'm interested in the days to come, basically this week. And the way I'm structuring this, and the reason why I have structured this like this, is because when I tell people that I'm trading, I think it's the 38 pairs. Let's just say 40. Okay, so I'm trading 40 pairs, and because Bitcoin and Ethereum, and I'm looking at a few altcoins as well. So when I say I'm trading 40 pairs, people are obviously wondering how I'm able to monitor such a large number of markets simultaneously. And that's obviously because of having a process, a very simple but straightforward and effective process that I keep repeating every week, and it's now part of my weekly routine. So out of these 40 pairs, I'm getting just a few pairs that have a setup coming up. And because I'm trading on the daily and the 4-hour, with my 4-hour being my entry trigger, my main time frame, my entry time frame, if you will, I'm I'm moving quite slowly. So you see right now, for example, the 4 hours closing in 47 minutes, which means I have 47 minutes to go through these interesting pairs. And what I do is I scan the market and I make a list of the pairs that can provide me a setup in the next few 4-hour candle closes, or perhaps a daily candle or two. And I'm going to show you what those are. The first one, which I think is a very obvious setup, is Euro NCD. So if we look at Euro NCD, I'm going to remove that one right there, and we can just look at a clean chart right here. This is something I like to do, is just remove everything, look at price action, and ask myself, what am I seeing here? What is the market? What is the market trying to tell me? Not, I have to remove every idea of, where's the trade? I don't want to ask myself, where's the trade? How can I make money? I want to flip that around, and I want to ask the market, can you convince me that there's something I need to do here? Listen to whatever the market has to tell me, and ask the market, can you convince me that there's a trade here? Otherwise, I'd rather not lose money. I'd rather keep my money. But if you have an investment opportunity for me that is perfect, then I might take that opportunity. A lot of people, they go into the market.
That's a great way to put things, to be selective. We mentioned this a couple of times, where you don't want to be too eager, and I think that goes into the same, that rhymes with the same way. Like the market, the setup has to grab your attention. It needs to, make it so obvious that you need to be there, because it's checking all your boxes. It's not something you have to convince yourself this might be a setup, this might be a signal. No, it's right there in your face. You can't avoid it. And I find that when I'm calm and I only want to trade, without a deviation from my trade plan, that I'm actually waiting for anything which is off to not trade it. And which, and my results when I do that is, when I trade like that, are much better, because I'm very selective, and I would rather have a setup pass me by because it wasn't perfect, than trading something that isn't completely according to the plan. I think what you said is, by flipping it back, let's not force things, but let's the market convince us. I think that's a great way to put it.
Imagine the market being one of those very annoying cold calling sellers trying to get your attention, trying to sell you something. And some days you just hang up, but some days you want to have fun and be like, try to like outsmart them or whatever. And then you're in the grip and you're like almost about to buy something stupid. And like, you got to view the market as one of those, annoying cold calling sellers. You answer and it's like, okay, nah, I don't want to trade you. Like, I do not want to have a trade today. It's like you're trying to bait me. And that's what the market is doing. You're trying, like, look at that fake out. It's like this move down here. This could, of course, this was a proper break to the downside, but this could have just been a wick. This could have just been a fake out. It's like the market is trying to sell you something all the time, but you need to really be on your tones and be convinced. You have to ask the right questions, right? And for me, the mark, Euro NCD is calling me, right? It's calling me. I see the number. My phone is registering that number as a scam company. I want to hang up, right? Euro NCD, I'm gonna hang up on you. And then it's like I'm asking, I'm answering that call, and I'm asking, have the 4-hour candle closed? It's like, yes. Is it a confirmed breakout? All right. Well, that sounds like a pretty decent deal. I'll take that trade. Okay, so you want to really make sure that you ask the right questions and you listen to what the market is telling you, not what you hope is going to happen. So on Euro NCD here, what I want to see here from Euro NCD is We have the break below this support level right here. I'm watching, I'm basically seeing weakness here. Okay, so what I'm seeing is low time frame consolidation here, a move to the upside, holding the previous range lows as support. That's great, but then you break down and you form a consolidation here again, which is weakness. And then you print another low, which is obviously another form of weakness. And if you look at this, you could see the a top formation being put in. One of the top formation that everyone knows about is the head and shoulders. Okay, this is the top formation that everyone is, the first top formation that everyone learns about, right? And this top formation is really, really good because it has all the characteristics that a top formation should have, right? And a top formation usually looks something like this, but with other different characteristics. And that's exactly what we have here. We have a major top formation, very visible on the daily as well. And after that one is also printing at a previous supply area as well, previous resistance area. And you're then breaking the low here. So what I'm looking for Euro NZD is for a retest of this low right here, which is the last lower low prior to that break, that one right there. So I'm basically looking for a move up to that level and then back down here again. What is invalidating so basically when the 4 hours trading here and just about to close, I was ready to place limit sell orders here. But then I saw price continuing lower. And it's now hitting this support right here. This actually tells me that if price is bouncing here, comes back up here, there is a possibility that this is the lowest price is going to come. Price is going to continue to the upside after that bounce. Now, if price would have stopped here before it hit that support, and then at that point I can place my orders here, because that means that this is untested territory. This level here has not been tested before, but now it's actually been tested. So if I'm going to sell here and then exit the position here, what I'm doing is I'm basically buying down here. And if I'm going to be buying here, I want to make sure it's not the second retest, okay? Because this is not as strong of a magnet now than this level was prior to the test, because when prior to the test, that was an untested level. So what I'm doing now is I have an alert right here. So right here I have an alert. When that alert goes off, I'm going to be looking for the reaction at this level. If there is a bearish reaction with a 4-hour candle close that makes sense, I'm going to enter this trade for that move lower. So the fact that we had a bounce tells me that I'm going to be waiting for confirmation and not place limit orders. So that's Euro NZD. I think that is one of the most interesting trade setup that I have right now. And then we have Euro CAD, and this one is pretty much the same as Euro NZD, where I'm looking for a reaction up here for a short. And basically what I'm looking for here is on the daily to move from range highs down to range lows. Again, you put a level on here, last low. Trade would look like this. Pretty much the exact same trade as Euro NZD. And I got an alert here as well to alert me when price hits that level. And then we have USD JPY. I want to short this. Why do I want to short this? Well, because it's in a very, very clear downtrend. I not really add trend lines very often, but it's a good visual tool to show you how clean this downtrend is. So this is the trend that I want to be trading, and I want to take it lower. I think that this resistance on the daily might act as resistance, basically. So on the 4-hour, we see that we have quite a good uptrend right here, okay? So what I need to see for this to be a valid short, I need this uptrend to break. And right now we're seeing this. So what I'm hoping is that we'll see perhaps something like this, but I'm not really sure exactly what I'm looking for in terms of market structure break. I know what I want to see when I see it, So I'm going to be placing one alert down here. And then we have one alert up here because, of course, we have a very strong daily level here. If we can get a daily close above here, and then a bounce on the 4 hour with a break and retest on the 4 hour, I wouldn't long this. That's the plans I have for Euro, USD JPY. And now we're looking at the Euro AD. On Euro AD, we have a very strong move to the downside, right into a major high time frame support. This is on the daily. What I want to see right now is I want to see confirmation of a bounce down here on the 4 hour. And if that happens, we have a good level right here where I can take profit. So imagine if price maybe comes down here and starts moving like this. Then I'm ready to go long. Perhaps entry here, stops all the way below the level, and then TP at these highs. Probably going to get an entry up here or somewhere. So that's Euro AD. And then the last one I'm looking at is Euro CHF. And this one to me screams a long, which is weird because some of the pairs I'm looking to short the Euro and some I'm looking to go long in the Euro, which I don't like that perspective. I don't want to have opposite signals on the same on involving the same currency. But here on Euro CHF, we're seeing the same thing as we're seeing on Euro NCD, but this is a long instead. So what do we have here? Well, we almost have a head and shoulders with a possible break and retest of that neckline. Now, of course, price action is not perfect, and it very rarely is, but you can see that the overall characteristics of this one right here has the higher highs and higher lows in the positions where you also would have them in the head and shoulders, which basically tells us that we have a downtrend that breaks into uptrend. And for Euro CHF, we have to have multiple 4-hour candles closing in this area for there to be a trade. I can't really trade this because, first of all, there's no confirmation. The 4-hour candle is not even closed, and there needs to be some sort of outside bar or bullish engulfing candle, which can only happen on the close of this candle and the next one, so 4.5 hours, which means that I have a lot of waiting around to do. So today, it's probably not going to be any trades for me, honestly. Okay. Over to you, Victor.
All right. I like how you maneuver different pairs, and even if they don't have the same direction, considering one currency in the pair, and that's difficult to handle for people who are new at trading, because a pair, let's say euro, euro dollar, and another pair, let's say euro NZD, might move in opposite direction. It doesn't seem like logical, right? Because they have euro and euro. If euro is going up, it should be going up as well. But sometimes the other pairs are moving more strongly than the euro in that pair. So it's not a euro move. Maybe it's a dollar move. Maybe it's an NZD move, which is making the opposite of what euro is doing. So much so that it overpowers and the pair goes in opposite direction, even though they both have euros in them. So it's kind of confusing for people who are new at this, but that's how it is sometimes. And it's a great idea to look at correlations. You can find correlations tables on different websites, let's say MyFX Book, where you can look at different time frames, daily, intraday, or even in the minutes, to see what has been the correlation. Is it positive, meaning they move together? Is it negative, meaning that they move in opposite direction? And how strong is that correlation? And that can guide a trader to identify which pair is actually making the move. But in general, it is a good idea to avoid going in opposite direction when you have a position open in a specific currency. But let's look at the but I like how you maneuver that. Let's look at GU, because I've been mentioned that twice already. Let's look at my screen for a little bit here. What I see here is, just by looking at we had a by the way, the macro target has been hit on the higher time frames, and the macro target was placed. It's not based on a on a setup per se, but it's based on this structure on the daily order block where the price, where price has broken a previous high, close very strongly, where you expect for price to continue, but before it does that, it comes back into some level that is relevant. And in this case, it's a broken level, break and retest. Basically, I don't trade specifically that way, but I do recognize when I see them, I identify them when it happens. It comes in where that area, right, and it forms that order block. To me, that's the sign. That was the sign, and I was waiting for a retrace into this order block to catch this move. It didn't happen, so it didn't trigger my system to get into it. But that would have been my macro target if I had a setup in, and it did hit it now, which was, what is this, about 6 days after this initial bullish order block being formed. So that's great, although I couldn't capitalize on it because there was no signal. But I did want to show that a little bit before we continue. So what do we have in terminal, right? We always do top-down analysis. So what is the higher time frame? Well, the higher, we just talked about it, right? We have a breakout, price coming back into a relevant area, and then shows us that that breakout is confirmed by a bullish structure being formed right when it comes back for that, right? This area coming back for that retest, does that bullish order block and moves away. To me, that's the indication that on the daily, market structures, everything is telling us it has a better chance of going higher, or in other words, it has the way of least resistance, it continuing to go higher in this time frame in any case. All right, if we continue to go next step down, which is the H4, we will be seeing the same thing. See, this is where I was waiting for price to come back to, and it didn't happen. Right, these are the structures that I was waiting as price formed that bullish order block on the daily to catch my entry there, and then move out to catch those big entries. Okay, so what else do I have? If I zoom in, I see that we have been forming. We have a bullish order block, right, which is this on top of each other. Well, they're not overlapping, but we do have, here we have a succession of bullish order blocks being formed. To me, that's the indication of bullish order flow, and that's the same thing, just expressed in different terms of what I just mentioned on the higher time frames. Right, you have the market telling you that it's trying to continue, or it's forming, it's giving you those signals that going up is going to be easier. And what does it do? Does it break? And this is, we have 1, 2, 3 order blocks, bullish ones. And actually, for those who know how I trade, there is one even here, right? There is another H4 order block. And what does price do? Does it break or invalidate any of these? It hasn't yet, right? It hasn't invalidated this, even though it was very close, and it has tapped into
Wait,
structures
can
below
I?
us.
Sorry to interrupt you, but I'm just going to interrupt you when I have a question, because I'm sure
Go
other
ahead.
people watching have the same that 4-hour order block that you just added. Could you explain why?
Sure.
Why is that an order block?
Oh, sure. Well, these are easier to read, right? Based on how my definition, where it is a bullish engulfing. Very simple, without looking at volume or any other thing that might be subjective. Just plain open, high, low, and close data of each candle. Well, based on the bullish order blocks, these are based on that definition. These are the order blocks that are they're clearly for everyone. However, we have here an outside bar, which is not. Let's zoom in and see it. Right. Remember, the definition of an outside bar is where this bar, the second bar of the two bar candlestick combination, the second one takes both ranges, both sides of the range of the previous bar, and it closes above one of them. Right. In this case, it's a bullish order block because it's outside bar, which to me is the second definition that I have for a for a order block. So we have so many, three, and actually including the outside bar, the last three were bullish. The last three bullish order blocks have still not been invalidated, right? And so to me, the bulls are still firmly in control, right? So that to me, there's no doubt about that, and that may change in the future, and that's fine. But so far, I'm going to go. If I have a setup, I wanna recognize that who is still in control, right? So on the bull side, on the bullish setup, what I want to, since this order block, we've been in it for a couple of hours already, and it's not really there hasn't been a great retest into it because it didn't break out far away when it got out, right? When it was formed, it only went this far, right? So it doesn't have that great bargain that I'm looking for, even though it's still valid to be trading from this order block. What I do have is, the next one, this order block. And because the market has come even lower and touched into this order block on the buy side, I want to be uh, looking for an entry in here, right? So that's the next area. Of course, you could argue you can look for entries on each one of them with varying uh, uh, probabilities of success, of course. But each one of them is capable of, turning price back into a bullish order flow again. So the area that I'm interested in is this order block. And another reason for that is that the ATR for today is 88. And if you go to the daily time frame and measure 88, that's going to give us this level, 32.34, more or less. It doesn't have to be very precise. 32.34. Where's that? 32.34. That's in this order block as well. So it makes sense based on the ranges, the daily ranges, that this might be where the lowest point, if it hasn't already done that, for price to bounce off, right? Either today or even in the future, but the ATR is based on today's data, of course. That is on the buy side. So that hasn't, if we go to the lower time frame, I don't see a reason yet to go long from this area, right? It hasn't given me anything yet to go. So I'll have to wait. I'll have to wait for it to perhaps come lower, or maybe somewhat lower than it is now. But in any case, within this order block, and then start forming those, you know, quasis that I'm looking for, as I assume that's going to go up, right? That's one side. And the other side, and this is the area that I was talking about just now, we have, from the beginning of this trading day, this Monday, we have a lot of selling pressure coming into the market from these two areas. So this order block, this candle, which was on Asia during Asian session, and the big one, which is also a bearish outside bar, right? Only by a little. Let me get everything off the screen, but you can still see that this bar, it did go higher than the previous bar, right? Tricking everyone thinking it's going to break out to the upside, only to crash down and fall like a brick from the sky, right? So although that the higher time frame, the daily and the H for the market structure is looking very bullish, and I think there is great value to be buying this area, current market condition, current momentum is to the downside. As long as this order block, which was formed by the bearish outside bar, is still standing. And if we go to the lower time frame, and there was a user in our chat that mentioned this, and I was very happy when this user mentioned this setup or this area. It is this area. If I go to the lower time frames, I can find some structures where market might react to, right? Even on the 5 minute, and you can see it here. If you go to the 5 minutes, you can see, let me get that straight. You can see that I had this area indicated before price came all the way higher, and although it hasn't broken structure yet, so I don't think it's exactly ready to go all the way have follow through to the downside yet. I think it is still a great area to be looking for a reversal. If we look at the H2, as I said, there is an H2 order block there. If you look at the H1, there is one too, although I went for the H2, which was tight enough. And if we find this being then the trade, it's a little flimsy, I admit, but it does satisfy the quasi only by a little, but it's still an area where price could react. And I did take a few entries here as we were starting our session, which was actually, it was a little bit before, because my entries were after this engulfing, right? That engulfing, that bearish engulfing, and the entries that I had was when the price came back. If we look at the lower time frames, it was the engulfing on the 5-minute that grabbed my attention. And as it was coming back, I was getting short in here. And I believe in there, more or less, I got like let me check, two entries in. Yes. So, but it hasn't, to be fair, it hasn't shown a rejection, which I would like it to see, a break of structure in here yet. Let me get the tools working fine. Here I want to see confirmation in break of structure, and the structure is broken at this line. That hasn't happened yet, right? If it's going to have follow through, it has to break it, and it hasn't broken it. And the fact that it hasn't broken, to me, is a reason, to be cautious still. So I'm going to be, but there's a lot of time for this trade, and even if it taps me out, if it still gives me the right indication on the higher time frame, because as you can see, we can still have a bearish order block, let's say on the 1 minute, on the 1 hour, and then that will create an area. Let me get this out of the way, but that will create an area where I can have either, if it taps me out, I can have another attempt, another go at it, or I can have a add on if it gives me the signal, right? Closes as a bearish engulfing, and then comes back as it is going in that direction, because that's the momentum that we have been seeing today, which is this is the direction where who is in control. All of this is valid as long as this order block on the H4 is still respected, right? Once it gets above this order block, then all bets are off, and I'm going to be closing trades, or I'm going to be stopped out anyways. But because if it breaks that structure, we get back to the previous scenario where everything is bullish again. If that is going to be the case, then of course I will be out, and because the market is signaling it wants to continue up. So those are the two structures, the two scenarios, bullish and bearish, where I see opportunities today. And I will be taking both of them if they both present. Right now, only the bearish one has given me some signals.
Good, awesome, always very detailed and great analysis, Victor. I love the way your approach here. It's so very different from the way I trade, but I can definitely appreciate your level of detail here in the analysis. I want to mention something, guys. So me and Victor, we're just traders, all right? We're just traders at the 5ers doing these live streams. We're not in the support team, and quite frankly, we have no idea about those sort of things that goes on in the background with your account. We have no access to that, and even if we want to help you with support issues, we're not able to do so. So if you do have any support issues, you have to reach out to our support team, which is available on the website. You have the live chat there. You can reach out to support agents in there. And if you do have any problems, whatever problems with your trading accounts or whatever, you have to reach out to them. So I do see that we have someone in the comments saying that he has some issues with his account being terminated. I'm sure there's a reason for that to happen. We would never terminate anyone's account without a good reason. If you believe it's been made falsely, then you have to reach out to support and make your case about that. And I'm sure if it's based on false premises, it will get solved. But here, this is not the place to ask for support in those matters. This is, however, the best place to ask for support when it comes to general trading advice, not advice. We're not personal, we're not advisors, but you know what I'm saying. Trading education. This is the place. And live trading. With that said, Victor, we have someone in the comments asking if we can explain what a break of structure is and what a break in market structure is and how can we define that. And I think it would be a good practice for first you to show in a simple straightforward way what you're looking for in terms of break of structure, and then I can show my perspective, which probably going to be the same thing.
Yeah, well, what I've done is I've um, structured my way of thinking about breaking the break of structure in a very specific way, right? There is, of course, the everyone you will have talking about when you have a higher high, which defines the trend, a higher high and a higher low. When you have this, right, that will be the structural point of this structure, right, where it breaks. The same way as with a building. A building has, certain structures which, if broken, the building is compromised. It will not be standing anymore, and you consider it a danger. Right? That's the same thing with market structure. If you break this last low, it's going to no longer be in an uptrend, right? So it breaks down a trend, not necessarily going to a downtrend yet, but in any case, it's no longer on an uptrend. However, this idea, this way of doing, is useful. I mean, the way of looking at the market where you have the higher high and higher lows, where you put on your structural low. This is very helpful in the higher time frames. But when we get to a lower time frame, it gets a lot more difficult, for me at least, to identify the structural low, because there will be many, not just one, which could be considered structural lows, right? Structural swing point, which need to be broken for me to consider price to break down. So what I've done is I've come up with a rule, and that rule is personal in the sense that it doesn't mean to I don't it's not the absolute truth that this will be, if broken it will go down, but I've tested it, and that's part of what I how I trade. And the rule is the following. And I'm not going to say the actual rule, but it's based on this concept, the concept of the head and shoulder, but used on the lower time frame. And what I do is if I have a head and shoulder, I will consider that to be the sign that the market has the structure has broken. And one of the things that I need is, even if the quasi isn't retested, right, for the entry, this is the entry that I would be looking for. Even if that little blue arrow doesn't happen, that movement, it doesn't matter. If I can identify one higher point, what I would want to look for is, where did price prior to this high have an impulse down, in this case of a bearish head and shoulder, right? And I define, and you can have your own definition of what that impulsive move needs to be, but in my case, this is what I see, right? So I see price going up, and this is on the lower time frames, right? It goes up, and this is the high so far we have. So when we have this, what I'm looking for is, before this is the head, considered to be the head, I will look back and see which of these two impulses to the downside, which of these two have satisfied the rule that I use. And I'm not going to say the rule, because the rule isn't that important. The rule isn't what makes or break this way of looking at it, but it's by identifying where the market has tried before but failed to move the market lower, right? So that's going to be and you can say, well, here you have a big handle which is engulfing. That could be the rule. It could be a number of bearish bars. That could be the rule. It could be something else. It doesn't have to be exactly what I'm seeing. This is, by the way, an outside bar. You can see that that's an outside bar. Well, you can have whatever that rule is to you, but to me, at the impulsive before the head, the impulsive move down before the head that was previously respected, that's the one that I want to be broken. And in this case, it's this line, right? According to my specific rules that I use. So I want that line to be broken. If that happens, then I consider that in this time frame a break of structure. I know it's a little bit deeper, not perhaps beginners friendly, but that's how I approach it. But if you want to keep it simple, then I will be just using the higher highs and higher lows, swing points, and when you break that, the last confirmed low, that to me would be the break of structure. So
I think
that's
I think
the
that's
my.
the I think that's the
Go
correct
ahead.
way of understanding the breakup structure. I think the next step would be to so we can. I would actually say if you really want to understand market structure and you want one market to look at and one pair to do your analysis on, I would highly recommend the Euro NCD. Euro NCD is one of the pairs out there that has one of the cleanest market structure, both on the higher time frames and the lower time frames. I would say though that if you want to study market structure, look at Euro NCD on the daily and the 4 hour. It has very clean levels, very clean reactions to key levels. It's especially if you go back to maybe 2021 or 2020, it's insanely nice type of market structure. We can just a couple of examples. This downtrend here on the daily, you'll find the multiple uptrends and downtrends on the lower time frames. You have one of my most favorite part of any chart is this pattern that's formed. Well, actually, it's all the way back from 2015, but it just shows us. Now I actually can't find exactly where it is. I think it's here actually. Yeah, it's here. So on the daily, you can have, this is a very clear market structure where you have an overall, it's an overall uptrend, right? Where you have a low and then high area, a low, high area, low, and then a high area all the way up here. And that's exactly what a bullish market structure looks like. You have higher lows and higher highs, and it forms a trend. So if we know that this is what an uptrend is, then of course a downtrend is just the same thing, but in reverse, a lower highs and lower lows, right? Just like this. Let me see if I can move this up a little bit. So if this is an uptrend, then of course, flipping that in reverse, you get a downtrend with lower highs and lower lows. So where is the break of structure? The break of structure is when the uptrend turns into a downtrend. So you have to understand where is the level that the uptrend breaks into a downtrend. Now, it's a good process good practice to paint the perfect market structure, which I would say is first you have a move to the upside, then you come down and you bounce at around the 50% level of the previous one. You go up for the same distance as the previous move, come down and bounce at the 50% level of the previous one, and then you continue like this. And here you have the perfect picture uptrend. So it's a good practice to look at where would the perfect picture uptrend first, where would it start to show signs of a break lower? The first signs of a potential shifted market structure would be the shift in the behavior of the uptrend. In this case, if price goes lower than this level, this has never happened in this trend. So what if you have a move like this? Now you have equal lows, okay? Higher lows, equal low. That's your first sign that you have a potential shift in market structure. What happens if you come up here and you fail to go higher? Well, now you have a high, a lower high, and equal lows again. 3 equal lows. What if this move continues like this and then come back up? What do you have now? Well, now you have a downtrend. So where's the actual shift of this? You have 3 points. Number one, change of change of behavior, or actually, this is the change of behavior, and this is a potential break of structure. And now you have a new trend forming while still keeping the previous structure. Remember, this is still an uptrend because you haven't broken the lows. Where does the downtrend, where is it confirmed that you're now, entering a potential downtrend? It's when this low is broken. And when this lower high is formed, now you have an obvious downtrend. So there's multiple points where there's a break of structure happening, but there's also different levels of probabilities and confirmation with these. So here, first sign, second sign, third, fourth, fifth, and then you have the sixth one. The higher that number is, the more confirmation they have of a new trend. And usually, when you're here, the trend is already confirmed, broken. That's where I'm trading. From my system, this is my entry. When the trend is firmly confirmed broken, when it's obvious that it's broken, that's when I'm trading. And if you look at Euro NCD, we have just a perfect example of this with the trade I was talking about before in the beginning of the live stream. Okay, we can look at this as a low, high, higher low, high, and then we start printing this, something like that. And that's where the trend is confirmed, when you have a rejection at that level right there. Now, if you learn to identify the perfect uptrend and the perfect downtrend, and you learn to understand when the shift is happening from uptrend to downtrend or from downtrend to uptrend, you look at how accumulation and distribution looks like. If you understand the perfect market structure, then you'll understand all market structures because they have the same characteristics, and there's certain rules: higher highs and higher lows if you break the lows. But then there's more advanced concept, like Victor looks at the Quasimodo pattern, which is a more advanced concept. But those things are impossible to understand without understanding what the perfect market structure is all about. And it's super simple. It really is very, very, very simple. So the key to understanding market structure and the break of structure is simplicity. And then when you understand the simplicity of it, that's when you can start becoming more advanced. I think that's those two explanations from Victor and me. I think that's all you really need to understand the basics of market structure, really.
Yeah,
Victor, how about we?
Go
ahead.
We have the H4 closing in 5 minutes. If it closes where it is currently, let me show my chart. If it closes, obviously it would be invalidating this order block, right? If it invalidates it, then the sell setup has no a leg to stand on. In other words, it's off the table, right? Not only that, it would be, if it does that in a few minutes, it will have come back into bullish order flow again, because we have bullish, and it did have this bearish one, but this bearish order block, let me indicate it maybe for everyone. This is the bearish order block, right? In order for this order block to be the changer, the changer which you will in the future look at and say that was the structure, it needs to hold. And it's not holding right now. So if it breaks it, there's nothing bearish left on the charts, where we'll be bullish again, which makes a lot of sense from the higher time frames, right? Remember when I said from the top down, we're very bullish, and there is a chance here that we might starting to go down, because today at the beginning of the session, we had sellers coming in and forming this structure, and then maybe they will be defending that again. But it seems like that's not going to be the case. At least if you look at current price, it is not by a lot, but it is above that order block. And if it closes there in 3 minutes and 40 something seconds, then we need to accept what the market is telling us, that the buyers took control again, right? It does that all the time. One side cedes control and then takes it back. And that happens all the time, and it's important not to get carried away with any one side, right? If the market switch, you need to be need to be nimble and switch as well your bias, where the momentum, who is in control. That's the key question all the time. Who is in control?
Yep.
All right. So, but you wanted to, we're getting to the, you wanted to do something.
Did I? Yeah. Okay.
No, you didn't mention, you didn't complete the sentence, but I thought you wanted to say something.
Yeah, probably did, but I got the memory of a goldfish, as they say. So this is a good question, actually. And by the way, I'm going to mention the giveaway soon, the giveaway code soon. And I apparently I did choose the most advanced secret code ever, so I think I actually have to type it out because okay. So why are corrections called corrections? That's a good question.
Very good. Yeah, that's a very good one.
Corrections are only moves to the downside, correct?
I wouldn't say so. Typically in the equity market, that's what you call, right? You have like a crash, and then it corrects back to previous status, which was where it started. That's why it's called. But I would argue correction is in both ways. It depends on which side of the market you are. To
so
me,
I think it's better to use. I think it's better to use retrace and pullback. I mean, from a technical analysis point of view, the correct term would be in an uptrend. When you have a move down in an uptrend, that's a retrace, and when you have a move up in a downtrend, that's a pullback, because price is pulling back to the level in a downtrend and retracing in an uptrend. So if you look at well, I would say the correct the correct words to use would be pullbacks and retrace. I think correction is something that has a nice ring to it, and it's something that sounds good from maybe a clickbaity point of view, from media to use. Maybe better to use the word correction, like Nvidia has a massive correction. It's like it maybe doesn't sound as good as Nvidia is retracing or whatever. I think, yeah.
I think it's important, and the fact that we are asking ourselves this question makes it important to have a definition of what is that word to you, because what other people are using the word correction, they may be referring to something else. When a price of an asset has overreacted, has been very, very bullish, overbought, it can be corrected toward more reasonable price. Right, that's a correction as well.
That's a very good definition, because as M70, dude, you have to change your nickname. It takes M76BB says a correction, word that he uses as a response to mistake, and I think that makes sense, because that definition that makes sense to what you said. If you have a overvaluation, or you have a bullish move that is overextended, or it's a impulsive overextended move, then it needs to correct itself. That makes sense. So maybe a correction can be a retrace or a pullback, but what needs to come before a correction is what the move before the word determines the word to be used.
Well, actually, what I wanted to say was, you have a correction after a deviation, right? When prices are when prices are fairly, when, let's say, in the stock market, when an asset is fairly valued, right, and it has a deviation either to the downside, right, or to the upside, which is beyond what is considered fair, and it corrects back into that fair value. That's a correction. You can see that, let's say, on the stock market, the S&P, for example, has been going up this year. You have year-to-date return to be around 20%, which is above average. And for some people, that may be like, they are the asset in terms of price divided by earnings. They may have been, too hot, running too hot, and they need to be corrected into more reasonable area, right? So I think it's not very, I don't like to be using that word, because it may mean different things to different people, right? It depends on whether
Yeah.
you think what's fair, right? Is this a deviation or not? Right. So if and that's something subject, it has some subjectivity to it. So I think we need to define each word if we want to share them. What I would say is, since I don't trade the equity market, what I would say is any impulses, right? If I use my chart, any impulse that I have, right, as long as the second move is not longer than this, I would consider this part, the first part, to be the impulse and the retrace. And is this a correction from? Is the second part a correction of the first move? Sure, you can call that a correction, right? And that would make this the deviation. But that's if you call correction, we're assuming that there is like a fair price. And I'm not trying to say what the fair price is. Maybe I assume that price will continue to go up, right? And by identify the impulsive and the retraces in the market, I think we avoid the discussion whether it's a fair or a deviation or not. But it's a great question. And we have the H4. You're muted. We have the H4 that closed on pound. So the bearish scenario is off the table, right? This order block, which was on the H2 and H4, has been live, has been invalidated, and we're back completely into bullish order block. Order flow again, without it
Yeah, I think
invalidating
it looks.
any order block. Right.
Yeah,
All of
it
these
looks. It
have
looks.
been.
Looks bullish. It looks very, very bullish. It looks like we had a bit of a panic, but we have to remember we do have still in about let's see, in about 40 minutes we have the manufacturing flash PMI for the US, which I think it's going to be a big deal considering the moves that we had from the previous. Was the previous? Yeah, I mean it was all flash PMI today. Flash manufacturing PMI. It was not even, wasn't the actual manufacturing PMI, right? So it might actually make big moves here today. So for me, I'm gonna stay out. I'm gonna stay out. There's too much uncertainty here today because we began with strong moves to the downside, very strong risk off moves, and now we've I guess corrected that if corrected those moves or yeah, it's interesting. I mean, we'll look at Euro CHF. We were bouncing nicely. I can show the chart that I'm talking about. We bounced nicely here on Euro CHF. Very strong bullish price action here on the 1 hour as well. I can definitely see this moving higher. If I had to take a trade today, if I had to take a trade right now, I would probably take which is weird, but I would probably long Euro CHF and wait for that short on Euro NCD, which doesn't really make a lot of sense. And then we have USD JPY showing bullish structure here as well. So that long scenario might activate here for the next couple of days. But I feel for me at least the best way forward for me is to not take a trade, because there's so much going on right now. There's so much conflicting movements in the markets, and we have more news coming out, and it's just too early. I feel like it's I'm on the brink of entering orders too early. So I feel actually I feel like I'm in the right situation where if I'm not trading on Mondays, I feel like actually, you know what? I'm gonna look that up. By the way, guys, let's do the code. Let's do the giveaway code. And like the live stream, if we get let's say if we get 250 likes or something, I'll give away a couple of extra accounts. Okay, what's the giveaway code? What is the giveaway code? Okay, I'm just gonna type it in the comments. Then you'll do whatever you want. Okay, the giveaway link is in the description of the video. I'm gonna type the code in the comments. I'm not gonna pin it. If you're coming in late, You'll have to actually look it up in the comments. Okay, there we go. GRF465. Let's go. Yeah, Andre, we have something with the 45K subs giveaway. We have something massive planned. I can't tell you what, but it's not gonna come like next week or something. It's gonna be you're not supposed to type that in the comments though. Okay, let me go in, and I have to block that word. Let me get that fixed. But yeah, for we have something really big coming up for the YouTube channel. Massive events. You guys, you want to stick around. You definitely want to stick around in the next couple of weeks or even more. But it's going to be worth the wait. It's going to be a massive
Is the word
event. Massive.
is the word banned?
No,
No.
I'm going to do it right away. You see that? I forgot to
in the
put
meantime,
it in the.
guys, everyone, let's hit the like button. Let's show your appreciation for the show, for the live stream, and keep supporting us. If you want us to be able to bring more guests for your education, for your growth as a trader, if you want us to get, come keep on bringing great crests, you have to. Well, you don't have to, but it would be nice.
Yeah, you have to. They don't have a choice. Because I just put on so that you have to be subscribed to write in the comments. So yeah, you have no choice but to subscribe. Okay, what I was gonna say something. Yeah, that's right. On Wednesday we have Anastasia, and the week after that we have Rolf from Edgewonk. We're going to talk about trade journaling, and probably the most important thing you have to watch is that live stream with Rolf, and then we're having Anastasia coming on as well, talk a little bit about trading psychology, talk about some of her trades taken lately. So it's going to be great. The link is in the description. The code has been written and the link is in the description. Let me go in and see if there's actually any entries being made. Yep, we have a few people already coming in. Actually, we have 120 people already in the giveaway. So obviously these giveaways getting quite popular. And guys, you got to make sure that you also like the video. And I see that. And this, I'm going to explain why we make sure that you confirm that you're in the comments when we actually do the giveaway, because I see that a lot of people are coming into the live stream, and then I provide the link and the giveaway code, and then the viewers drop. Obviously, there's some people coming in for the giveaway, and that's why we want to make sure that it's only the people that stays, it's only the people that are in here that are able to win. So what we're going to do is I'm going to announce the winners later in the live stream, and I might do so before the end of the live stream. And I want you to confirm that you are the winner by confirming the email that you used with signing up. That could be, the first 3 letters, or the last 3 letters, or the 3 letters in the middle, whatever. Is something that confirms that you're the owner of that email. And yeah, because we don't want to give it away to bots, basically. I guess that's that's it, Okay.
Yeah, anyone.
You know what? You want to. So you know what? Like we usually do breaks 10 minutes, but it's super boring to just for you guys to just watch a timer tick down. So I'm gonna tell you, Victor, to take a break, because usually what happens is I take a break, and then after the live stream, Victor tells me, "Oh, I forgot to take a break." So maybe it's time for you to take a break. If you want to take a break, feel free to do so. Right?
Yes, I think it's a great idea. I typically don't remember to take the break, but I think you have a great idea today. So I'm going to do so. See you guys in a bit. See ya.
All right. Okay, so now that we got rid of Victor, let's. What do you guys want to talk about? Oh, look at my face. I'm small. I gotta Oh, okay. Well, there we go. Yeah, that's the one. Let's see. Can I? Maybe I should put myself back here. Again, now that Victor's gone, I'll let the fun begin. This is where I start dancing. Why? Why? I don't get the dancing on TikTok. I don't get that. Like I don't get that. Can someone explain that to me? Like why? Because I saw this trading influencer. It was like I'm not gonna call him an influencer, but like 19 years old, been trading for a year. It's like obviously selling a bunch of expensive courses, no track record, whatever. And what he does is like he's just dancing on TikTok, and like he sells trading courses by dancing on TikTok. It's super weird. I don't get it. So with that said, maybe I should start dancing, which I'm terrible at. But I don't know. Maybe you guys want to see that. I'll think about it. I think the 5ers management would probably not like it though. Not what I'm supposed to. That's not what I'm paid to do. Okay. Let's see. How many accounts am I giving away today? It depends. Depends on the number of likes. It depends on what if my take profit is getting hit or not. It's a lot of things that might influence the number of accounts today. We have Henry saying buy trading in the zones. I guess there was a question about trading psychology. Jack, I'm gonna say Jack. Jack says how to conquer euphoria. Yeah. I don't know if you want to conquer like euphoria, but okay. Yeah, I do trade gold, but whenever I do trade gold, it doesn't like me trading it. It's just I'm basically losing money in gold. That's what I'm trying to say. So yes, but I wish I didn't. I'm gonna ask you a question. We're gonna answer a question. You've been asking quite many times, and we see you, we hear you. I have the question in my little saved folder of amazing comments that I'm gonna answer. Your thoughts on Bitcoin? Good idea. Let's take a quick. I'm gonna put a timer on. I'm gonna put a 2-minute timer on. So here's your 2-minute breakdown of Bitcoin. Let's go. Okay, on the daily, super bullish. On the 4-hour, mega bullish. On the weekly, insanely bullish. On the 1 hour, this is a buy. On the 15-minute, I would say that this is an uptrend. Even on the 1 minute, this is a buy. That's it. 10-second, with the breakdown being basically buy Bitcoin. That's my analysis on BTC. So now what I want you to do is I'm going to take a credit card, go to Coinbase and buy. Nah, I'm kidding. Okay. So basically what we have here on Bitcoin is a reclaim of 60K. So this region right here around 60K is reclaimed. Obviously, we have a overall bearish characteristic of this range, but it's quite good sign that we reclaim this area. I'm personally looking for a retest of this level right here. Okay, so what I'm looking for Bitcoin is just the same as I would be doing in the Forex market with a slightly more bullish bias, because Bitcoin, like the Forex market, is designed to be effective, and it's designed not to move around 400% up and down to the, but Bitcoin is basically designed to go up. I mean, you look at the whole underlying fundamentals of Bitcoin is designed to be deflationary instead of inflationary. It's designed to it's just going to go up basically. So I'm biased to the upside on Bitcoin. That's why I can trade Bitcoin to the long side here, even though the daily is showing me bearish characteristics within this trend. Okay. So I'm looking for a retest of this level right here. And this is on the daily, and on the 4-hour, I'm basically just looking for some type of round the bottom or a 4-hour bullish engulfing on that level right here, which is around 60.8 or 60.7 or even 61. I think I would say 61. So that's what I'm looking at on Bitcoin. Long term, I'm super bullish on Bitcoin. I think that if current price action does not break down, I think we're looking at 150 or 200,000 per Bitcoin in the sometime perhaps at the end of next year. Why do I think that? Well, let us take a look at the beautiful logarithmic long-term analysis chart for Bitcoin right here, and you'll see what I mean. So this is on the daily. Let's zoom out. We got the long-term. It's a log chart here. Let's go to the weekly. I'm looking at this right here. We have the first, the second, the third, and the fourth halving. What happens after the halvings? Well, it's like Elon Musk decided to name its Starship rocket Bitcoin, something like that. And then we have the MVRV score right here. I'm thinking that I'm looking for a move up to the 5 or 6 region before selling, and that would probably sit nicely in this red channel up here, which would be around $200,000 for one Bitcoin. So that's my long-term analysis on Bitcoin, but it's also
when is your projection to be come into fruition?
I think actually I think we might. Okay, so let me just look at the numbers here. 200. Yeah, so I think about a year after the halving, we should start moving higher, which would be around March of 20. So let's say, yeah, maybe be end of next year, beginning of 2025. I would think that we get that explosive move to the upside. So I mean, there's still time. There's still time to accumulate Bitcoin, and I do see this as, I mean, if this would be the Forex market, then I would look at this and say, yeah, that's purely a distribution range, and we're going lower. But I see this as accumulation after the halving, which we've had every single time in the past, and this, I mean, the thing is, the pattern that I'm watching here has never failed on Bitcoin, but Bitcoin is a new asset, and we've only had four halvings, and there's not really a lot of data to go on, but it's never failed, and that's just what I'm going with here. It's an extremely bullish asset. The pattern of starting an explosive bull run after the halving, after also hitting the low here of the MVRV score, has never failed. And even though I think there is some alpha decay, with perhaps me adding a trend line here, seeing that the MVRV score is not going to get this high like it did in 17, and not this high as it did in 2021, but perhaps somewhere around the 5 or 6 region right here, and that's my signal to sell, basically. Just like I bought down here, I'm going to sell up here, and that that buy also aligned with the bottom of that channel and the high time frame reload zone as well. Now I had to switch to I can't do it on the log chart, but you see that this is if you remove the log chart, that's also the reload zone right here as well. So that's what I'm watching.
So basically, your go ahead.
One last thing. Check this out. So where's the top? So what I like to do sometimes is from one RLZ to the other. And if you look at this, it's actually the 0.618 of that one is actually at 109,000. So let's remove all of this. Let's add the logs. Let's add the logarithmic regression once again. Let's put on the log chart, and you see that target is just above when you break out of that high. So what looks like a very, very high target on the normal chart, when switched to the log chart and look at the historic price, it's just a fairly small move to the upside, which is the beauty of looking at Bitcoin from this perspective, I believe.
Good stuff. So basically, you expect sometime in next year, perhaps there might be an uptrend starting, a breakout, and going closer to that red zone, right? That's the sell area basically for Bitcoin, according to this analysis.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I'd say the MVRV score down here is more important, but the combination of both would be perfect. But this actually is I mean, I could just be trading Bitcoin based on this, right? And this is the important chart. I would be, I mean, this is to me, this is buy and this is sell. You can see looking at the MVRC score, this is actually the sell zone um, normally, but because of the fact that I do think that when I started looking at the MVRC score, that was, that was here in 2017. And now we have probably, hundreds of thousands more people looking at this chart and trading based on it. So there's going to be some alpha decay, obviously. And I remember it became massively popular when it printed this bottom right here, because a lot of people looked at COVID as, as a massive black swan event, and the whole market is going to change and blah blah blah. Bitcoin is not the same asset as it were when the institution came in and all of that. But it looks apparently like it could turn out to be true this time around as well. And I mean, it's not perfect, because obviously I think that was the COVID dump somewhere around here perhaps, and this was, I believe this was the FTX era, and then you have COVID, but it still remains true. You would still be massively profitable if you bought in that area and sold up here. So I think Bitcoin from an investment point of view is very simple. Yeah, it's quite simple from an investment point of view. But the problem is most people become interested in Bitcoin when everyone's interested in Bitcoin, and everyone's interested in Bitcoin in the, as if you use terms from Charles Dow, you would say that everyone becomes interested because that's the public participation phase of any risk asset. So of course the if we're going to use ICT terms, the smart money comes in when nobody wants the asset, but they know something that the general public doesn't know, and that is the fact that the underlying fundamentals of Bitcoin did not change here. The only thing that has changed here is the market psychology, the market participants' interest in the asset from a broader viewpoint changed, right? This is where smart money got in. This is where the MVRV got bottomed. And this is the public participation phase right here. And this is why people are always asking at this point, am I too late? I would say that you're not too late, but you're obviously late and you missed a 300% move to the upside. I mean, you missed that. It's just, you got to accept the fact that you are exit liquidity in this case.
Yeah, they're not completely late, but they are still late.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, where we're at? What's the likes looking like? Oh, good. You know what?
Before we continue, Jonathan, when BTC in your case, right? I know, disclaimer, you're not a financial advisor, but in your case, your personal ideas, what would you do when BTC reaches that red zone? Would you be completely getting out, or would you like sell half of your position, stay with 10%? What are you going to be thinking when it hits those targets? I think you mentioned something around 200 or so.
Yeah, I would exit fully. I would
fully.
Yeah, I would exit fully. I think I'm not afraid of I'm not afraid of missing out on profits, because at that point I would have already made the amount of profit that I wanted to make. That there are, of course, I mean, the thing is, I got a very good entry, so I'm not really worried about exiting too early, because I have a really good entry. So at this point, there's no early exits for me. It's just there's late exit basically. If we break down, I have to think about when is a late exit. So for me at this point, I don't see it as any late exits for me. But what I do like is to look at daily structure, and perhaps add the daily 50 EMA. So you can see right here, this is the daily 50 EMA. when we have that explosive move to the upside, I think if we're going to put in a top at the red zone up here, I think that top is going to come quite quickly and abrupt. And in that case, I would be looking for a daily shift in structure with a daily structure forming below the daily 50 EMA. That would be a good signal to exit for me. So imagine price comes up into this area, maybe like this, like on the daily, and then start forming like that, and the daily 50 MA might go like that. And yeah, I'm gonna get out if I have this type of structure, and I'm okay with missing out on 20 or 30% of the profit if I can confirm that it's a good exit. Because the thing is, Bitcoin has a tendency of doing the complete opposite of what you think it's going to be doing, which might mean that might not mean that it's not going to go up, but it might mean that it's going to go to 40K before 200K, or it's not going to go to 200K. It's going to go straight from 150 to 300. Like Bitcoin has this idea of the obvious moves are. It is going to happen, but it happens in a way that nobody can predict. It's just insanely volatile in both directions while still keeping a high time frame bias, which it's just, of course, you won't see that in the Forex market. So if you're a Forex trader, it's going to be very difficult to try to predict Bitcoin's movement. And that's why you have to accept what you're given. So if you get a move that's moving in your direction and you're making money on that, a lot of times it's best to just take whatever's given to you and move on, basically, because Bitcoin gives and it takes as fast as it gives. So you'll be happy about the profits one day, and then the next day you can't believe you did not sell. I mean, I remember in the bull market of 20.
You seem to be speaking of personal experience.
Yeah, so I remember in the bull market 2017. So my son was born at the end of 2017, at the height of the bull market, and then after that you also had the altcoin, like the altcoin market. And I remember I was I was not full-time trader at that point. I was working part-time in the healthcare industry, and I stayed home quite a lot in the beginning when he was born. And as you do with kids, with babies, you wake up in the middle of the night. And I remember, like, I had two things that woke me up in the middle of the night. That was my son waking up screaming, and my portfolio app just exploding with notification, TradingView exploding with notification, seeing altcoins, go 400% to the upside 5 minutes after buying, and making,
Wow.
making like, 10 grand in overnight, and then all of a sudden, towards the end of 2017, and all of this chaos that kind of like with having a baby, I saw my portfolio drop like 75% overnight. And I remember waking up, like, because I was showing my portfolio to my fiance, girlfriend at the time, and I'm like, look at this, we're rich, and then literally 4 hours later, losing 75% of that value, and it never came back. It never got up to that point. But I spent the next few months, just holding, because I know that I knew that bull market was not over. But eventually that 75% minus turned into 97% loss on the portfolio, which was like, yeah, that's, I mean, I showed my fiance and she's like, oh, that's a good amount of money. Like, we could buy a new house, a car, and have the life that we wanted. I'm like, yeah, sure. Like, I just need to cash out. And then boom, the day after, 75% minus, and never got back to that top. So, like, I know what it's like to lose unrealized profit. And like, you gotta remember, at that point, I didn't have enough money to, I mean, a lot of times, like we had like not even, you know, food was expensive back then, and we didn't have a lot of money. So like we had to every dollar we made was like we had to calculate how much, you know, we could buy for that. Like we were not making a lot of money back then. So having, you know, tens of thousands of dollars just racking up every day was just insane. Like we're rich at that point, right? And then it just went straight back. I'm like, okay, we lost everything in overnight. So I know what it's like. You know, I really know what it's like to have unrealized profit and then give it all back, like in a way that's just unreal to a lot of people. So I've been through the ups and downs of trading, one could say. And the thing is,
Ye-
I didn't give up at that point. Like I saw that insane profit, and I'm like, I can make it. I can make it. I can get back. I can get back to the level. And that's when I became obsessed, because I saw that, I saw the money I had, the unrealized profit I had, and I said, like, well, if if I were at that point at one time, if I just sold, I would have made the money, which means I can get back. I can make that money again. So I became completely obsessed with trading, and
yeah, I know
yeah, and
exactly
7 years
how that
later, I'm
feels.
here.
But one question people in the audience might be asking themselves: you mentioned that the move was at the height of things. You could have cashed out and have a life changing financially decision. And it then came back to 97% down from that height. Was that all that bull run? Was that altcoin, or was that also Bitcoin, including altcoin?
That was okay. So we can look at Bitcoin, and we can look at the bull run that we had in Bitcoin. So uh, I went in the beginning of 2017. So let's say around perhaps here. So on Bitcoin alone, we saw an increase of 2,000%. Which is quite a lot. But on Bitcoin alone, we made 2,000%. But you have to understand, I didn't have any money back then. So the amount of money that I had would not really have made me insane amount of money. Like if I invested everything in Bitcoin, let me do some calculations here. Yeah, so if I invested everything in Bitcoin, I might have made, 10K, from only Bitcoin. But the thing is, just Bitcoin was just a small part of my portfolio. What I did was I made, you know, several hundred percent on a lot of, several hundreds of percent on a lot of altcoins, because what I did was I invested in ICOs, which is initial coin offerings. So basically, what happened was you could send your crypto to a wallet, and then when that product is launching, you're going to get tokens from that product sent back to your wallet. And in the hype of this market, some of the coins listed 750 times higher than what I bought them for. So they listed.
Wow.
So I could have bought one altcoin for let's say $100, okay, and it got listed at a price worth $75,000, okay. So from 100 times 750, it gets seven. So in Swedish um, um, value, that would be going from 1,000 to a million in just a couple of weeks. So in my native currency, I became a millionaire overnight, but that was unrealized profit. So I was a multi-millionaire in unrealized profit, and lost 75% of that overnight. and the rest in the next couple of months. Because when you look at that number and you lose it, it's not easy to just close everything. It's not easy to exit you because you want to get back to that number. And honestly, that, I mean, it's insane because most people would probably just give up, like having some type of depressive attack and give up. But I'm like, this is
You
for
got
me,
hooked.
like this is what I want to be doing.
You got bitten by the bug,
Yeah, exactly.
the trading bug.
Crazy.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, your stories are insane. I don't know how common it is in the crypto world, but outside of it, of course, it's insane. I mean, you're talking about 75x,
Yeah.
750x
Yeah.
moves on the altcoins. I mean, for every $1, you got $750 at a certain moment, even if you didn't cash it out. That's something, it was real to you that moment, even though you didn't capitalize on it. I've had something similar, and to me too, a very long time ago, when there was a gold rush in 2009, so a very long time ago. I was starting trading, and I didn't really know what I was doing, and I thought, it was me, but of course it wasn't me. It was the market, and I was
Mm.
going in with high leverage, and it was parabolic. And I remember it very similar to what you mentioned. I remember uh, I was trading houses basically. My positions were the value of multiple houses, and in a couple of hours, a move which would be just a little break of structure on the charts. To me, that would be, I remember one day I woke up at during the night, and um, by the time when I went to bed, and by the time I woke up in the middle of the night, the difference was about 12,000 and $1,000 just by a couple of hours going to sleep. I didn't do anything. Just the fluctuations were insane. But in the end, I wasn't really a good trader back then, and I couldn't hold much of the profits, and I wasn't able to identify when the market actually started broken down. And so I eventually I didn't lose the majority of it, but I lost a big chunk of it by the time I got out. But to me too, that experience taught me that maybe I didn't know at that moment how to read the market correctly, but the next time around, if I will be able to cash out at the right time. And I think that's the thing that got you hooked, thinking maybe this time around, or that time, 2017 or 18, you mentioned the crypto bull run, you didn't know how to time the market, get out, at the right time, but you make sure that by the time something similar happens again, you are better equipped, and by that I mean with your skill set, to do what you didn't do before.
Yeah, I think if you've been in the markets long enough, you go through these scenarios, especially in the beginning when you have no idea what's happening. You have like you think you're the best trader. Like it's crazy. It's just you make a lot of money and like, oh wow, this is easy. And then you realize, of course, it's not. Okay, so I think it's time for the giveaway. It can take quite a long time to confirm all the people here that won the giveaway. You're not really at 200, but I'm gonna do 2 accounts anyway, just because you guys are awesome. So the way I'm gonna do it is like last time. I'm not going to do the wheel that's spinning. It's not working. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do two. Let's see.
Before you
Uh,
continue, that flash PMI is in about 3 minutes. So lastly,
okay.
4 minutes, 3 minutes and 40 seconds. It's probably going to be happening while you're explaining what you're doing.
Yeah, so we might want to. Yeah, I'm gonna explain what's happening here, and then we're gonna be looking at. Um, price action of that. So I'm gonna, you guys, I did give you guys the code in the comments. In the comments earlier, hopefully you catch that one. I do see that we don't have a huge number of people participating, so everyone did not catch the code, which is, that's the whole purpose of doing the giveaway this way, is because the people that pay attention, the people that are here in the live stream, know about the code, and they did enter the code. I think I'm with Akash. I better postpone the giveaway about 10 minutes. We're probably going to do that. We're going to look at the price action, and then we're going to be drawing the giveaway to give you guys enough time to check the code. Right now we have 180 people in the giveaway, which means it's a bit less than we usually have, which means the people that do come in actually have much higher chance of actually winning. Okay, let's take a look at the price action. Maybe you can switch over to your screen, and so I don't have to change what I have up here.
Sure. I will put on EU. Let's do that. And before, we have about 2 minutes left, so I will indicate the areas of interest to me, which is that area before as a area of support, right? And price reacted very nicely from it. And we have a fresh new order block that was created in the current order block, right? Price might, I don't think, we don't know what the price will be after this news release, this number release, but that's the area that was created, or the area that the sellers came into. So that's an interesting structure to be looking at. Let's see how that goes when market in about 1 minute and 20 seconds when the number is released. As you can see on the H4, the structural hasn't been broken yet, right? This is the structure. And it hasn't.
I think we're going to get a move to the downside, I think.
Why is that? Why would you say that?
Because every other flash PMI released pushed price lower. So I think,
okay.
Yeah. But currently, I believe we're seeing USD strength. What about the S&P 500? We are seeing some. I wouldn't really say we have strength from the US or weakness. It's rather small moves. I think we'll see what happens. Numbers should come out any second now. We got someone saying buy USDJPY. I think, USDJPY buy looks likely. I'd say likely.
All right. Numbers are, we have a little gap, and price are we had a little gap up in that candle, and we are indeed reacting to the downside. The candle is only 30 seconds old, so it's doesn't mean a lot yet. However, it is looking like it's going to be a bearish candle. Let's look at a 5 minute. Yes, it's much bigger. The ranges are much bigger in multiple time frames, just like we would expect.
So what about USDJPY? We said up on USDJPY. How's USDJPY looking?
Yep, that's
wow. Yeah,
it's a. Let me look at the structures. It's in the middle of the range on the H1, so it hasn't really changed much in terms of structure. But it's certainly a positive for the dollar. This is bullish for the dollar. On the H4, there are some structures above us. That might be something to look at. Right? If it will be going much higher, this is the relevant structure for it to break on the H4, this area. But with a big candle like this, with the release of a macroeconomic number, those are the catalysts, the moments it's able to break easily an H4 structure. So it looks promising for a continuation. We didn't have the price didn't react or didn't come up to the order block above us. That was the area for me to be looking for a short based on the H4. But it's clearly that the sellers have taken over, right?
All right, I think we're let's go into the giveaway. Let's make sure that it's not it's not taking too long with otherwise we might be here. I want to make sure that we give enough time to let's keep our eyes on Euro USD. We have a possible break and retest there on the lows, but let's pivot over to the giveaways here. I'm going to be drawing the winners right here. So currently we have 170 people in the giveaway, and I will be drawing the winners right now because of the fact that we did get quite a lot of likes for this live stream. I'm going to do 2 accounts instead of the original one. So before we do give going on here. Okay, winners. Draw the winners. 2 winners. Let's go. Okay, so here we go. We got 2 people right here. We got Gilbert and Alfred. I'm going to be posting them here, and I'm going to be just making it a bit anonymous. And the ones who both of them won because of the fact that they claimed the loyalty bonus, which means that you've been here before, and we're really grateful for that. So thank you for participating. Now, what I want is for both of you to confirm that you're the winner by giving me the last 3 letters of your email. The last 3 letters of your email. If you can do that, then you have won 1 bootcamp account, and your account will be credited within 1 week. Usually much quicker, but within 1 week. The chat right now is on a timer, which means you can only type in 1 comment every minute. So I'm going to give it a little extra time. But Alfred, Gilbert, you have won an account. So what you have to do is you have to type in the comments. You have to confirm that you are the winner by typing the last 3 letters of your email. If you do that, then I will select you as winner. I like how I asked for the 3 last ones, and it gives me the 3 first ones. But it's actually this is actually correct. So I guess I have to confirm that. If you can just give me the last 3 as well to make sure that there's no funny business going on here. If you can give me the last 3, that would be great. Alfred does not seem to be here though.
How's the time for Alfred?
About 10 seconds.
10 seconds. Gotta be quick,
Yeah.
Alfred.
Okay, Alfred spoke in chat but didn't give the last 3. So when did Alfred
Oh,
speak
yeah,
about
yeah.
that? Let's see.
Here.
Okay, Alfred, so we got 2 here. I'm gonna give you guys. Okay, I'm gonna give you one minute. You have to confirm with the email. You can't just say I'm here. You have to confirm with the last 3 letters of your email. The instructions are quite clear, so I'm gonna give you just a little time more. Please confirm your email by typing out the last 3 letters of your email. If you can't do that, then unfortunately, I'll have to pick 2 more winners. Yeah, I know Alfred was here, but we can't really confirm that it's the actual Alfred or the actual Gilbert unless they can confirm the last 3. I mean, it kind of sucks to do this because if it's them, then it sucks for them. But I mean, we have to confirm.
Yeah, well, the fact that
Okay,
their
we got
name was
Gilbert is confirmed.
confirmed.
Okay, good.
Okay.
Yep, we got first one is confirmed. Nice, and then I'll wait for the last one. I'll wait for Alfred.
There's a
Yeah,
1
this is
minute
also one way.
limit, right?
Yeah, the time limit is off. So okay, I'm selecting the. Okay, who was the winner? That was Gilbert is one of the winners, and I'm going to be selecting a new one for number 2. Okay. So here's the second one. I kind of have a feeling that this person will will not confirm.
We'll see.
If you are I said I said then please confirm with your email. So Evans says he's seen Alfred post his email a lot, but I can't see it. I don't
Yeah,
see
me neither.
Alfred anywhere. I did not see that pop up.
Yeah, me neither. No email from Alfred visible.
Did you say physical email?
No, I mean visible. It wasn't visible.
Visible. Okay, yeah.
Or physical, whichever is faster.
You confirm email by typing in this case, I want the three last letters of the email. Yeah, I think exactly. I think Alfred was busy taking care of Batman. Okay, next one. Malcolm. All right. Malcolm Curry.
Let's hope Malcolm is listening and will be confirming soon.
Yeah. Malcolm Curry, I want you to confirm your email by typing in the last part of your email. Come on, Malcolm. I think Malcolm is here. I have a good feeling about Malcolm.
Yeah, me
I have a
too.
good. I like. Yeah. Where is he now? Like he's not confirmed though, is he? He said why? Did he? Where is he? Did he say that? Oh,
Where
right. There we go. Nice.
I
All
didn't
right.
see it.
Congrats, Malcolm. You're the winner. We got 2 winners. Amazing. Good stuff. Okay, guys, we got 2 winners. We got Gilbert and Malcolm. Both won because of the loyalty point, which means that you've been here before. So I'd like to thank you all for joining here, and I'd like to thank you all for coming back to these live streams and joining these giveaways. But most of all, coming here to give us your feedback, your comments, and participating in the live streams. I do feel like we're building a really good community right here. And, you know, the 5ers is not only about these live streams and accounts, it's also about the community that we're building around the company with the YouTube community as well as the Discord community. So make sure, guys, if you're not in our Discord server, you have to join where you're going to see Rich, you're going to see Victor, you're going to see Mike. What's Mike? Mike the what's his name? Mike. Modest Mike, that's right. You'll hear from Modest Mike as well, and you'll see Saul in there as well, having Q&A sessions within our Discord. It's a very, very good community, and it's big. It's getting really big, but it's not for everyone. You have to have an account. You have to be a member of the 5ers to get in, and you don't have to be funded. You can have an elevation account, but you'll get that. And I have good news for you guys. You'll be seeing Alex soon.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Alex is soon to be among us again. So for everyone who was asking for him for in his absence, you will be pleasantly surprised soon.
Yeah. All right. Okay, guys. Ugh. I'm going to get some more coffee, and congratulations to everyone that did get an account. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Tomorrow we're going to do some more live trading, more analysis. Hopefully we got some trades going by then. I'm going to update you on all the trade setup that I've covered today. It's a very slow day today in the markets. Not really a lot happening. Well, there's a lot of things happening, but no setups for me to take today. However, your CHF looks very interesting for a potential long. So I'm going to see if... Actually, no, I don't like it. Okay, guys. See you guys tomorrow.
See you, everyone. Till tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Hi guys, so thank you very much for watching the video. Now make sure you like and subscribe, and most of all, go into the YouTube and check our